I think I finally pieced it together. That last piece of evidence when they said Nolan, they won't let Nolan leave because Nolan was already gone, baby. Nolan had already left, baby. Them boys dipped out at 10 p.m., dropped the fucking boat off at the judge's house. At 11 p.m., that's when the suspicious call came in and the phone was recovered from Warren's house. They went back to that party, acted like nothing fucking happened. At 1 a.m., Evan's mom kicked everybody out and they said, no, can't leave. Because he already had left. He wasn't there at that time. Then they went and dumped the body and cleaned the boat.
Question. Do police officers make you nervous?
Heck yes.
Now, what if there was a black police officer?
Nah, it's different. So, black people often navigate white spaces as a foreigner. As I sit in this room, I'm one of 3 black people in here. You sit in this room and you're one of 35 white people in here. It's natural for you.
Yeah.
You're home. Whenever I walk into a room, a restaurant, church, anywhere, I'm looking for black people. Just in case something pops off, it's like, okay, we here. Me and you, like we're together. Because so many black people in life have probably gone through some sort of struggle, there's an instant connection.
It makes you relax a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still dealing with a cop, so you're nervous naturally.
But it's if I can now be honest, I see he's black before I see he's a cop.
Right.
I see you all are cops first.
Hey, to all of my race friends, whatever nationality you in, whatever God you believe, hey, let this be a public service announcement. Let there ever be a time that my baby walk out this house with a group of friends and not return home with everybody else. You're going to feel every emotion that I feel times 10. Let there be a time my son's property is returned back to me, but his body ain't, and it's not untouched and it's not unharmed. I'm going to show you why repercussions and consequences really should have been my middle name. I'm going to show you that I was the little girl from St. Louis, Missouri, the most grimiest state of all 50. How I came home from the hospital to a house in Castle Point. Then relocated over there to Berkeley, over on Hancock. The second house to the right, it was blue back then, might be painted now. Right around the corner from Airport Elementary, across the street and around the corner from Kinlock, where my uncle ran them domes at. You know what I'm saying? Mainly the apartments. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why my family lived in Kirkwood. I'm going to show you that I also had a cousin that was just executed by the state. Because when it came down to playing with his brother, we ready. You know, I'm gonna show you why they call St. Louis the show me state. You show me 7 and I got you 8, I'm gonna show you exactly why. If I take your body over there to that east side, across that bridge, you're never gonna be found. It could never take a judge or a lawyer to get anything done. I'm just gonna go ahead and warn you now. You can pull who you need to pull. Orange is actually a very vibrant color on me. I've smiled in a mugshot before and it had nothing to do with my children. And I'll do it again, especially if it's a matter of fact, turn it into a video, please. I'll post it myself. I'm gonna show you exactly why I grew up mute most of my life. You see, my problem is that I know so much and I lay low and I place low intentionally because the love that I have in my body, when you take me there, it's hard for me to tap out. I'm gonna show you that I'm scared of me more so than I am you, because when it comes down to me, I'm deranged and I'm unhinged. I change faces on people's bodies. That's how crazy I thought I was at one point, until I know you try me when I'm true, and that's when we gonna show you that some gonna get through. You can ever bet, let my boy walk out this house, Jesus Christ would have to dig in Satan's pocket himself and throw ice water to everybody down in hell to get me off you. I'm going to show you why I shower with my ning ding in the shower with me, thanks to my uncle. If I...
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you've seen before I came on, is a trigger warning. We're going to cover racism in America. this is going to be tough for me to do because I'm going to be honest with you. It will ruffle your feathers. So I'm not going to do a long welcome at all. I'm going to go ahead and just let this shit roll. I'm going to be honest with you. And I curse because putting this video together was a lot. It really was. It was a lot. But it's something that needs to be talked about. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. By the end of the video, you will be triggered, especially if you're Black. I said Black and brown people because even people that aren't Black per se is dealing with racism in America. So without any further ado, I'll get whatever you need to chill with me. You might want to smoke one. You guys, I'm not smoking anymore. I have let it go for right now. But right now, this is even worse trigger warning because I can't go blood right now. I am taking a break. I'm taking a sabbatical for a while. So if you need to go ahead and light one up, I suggest you do that right now. But other than that, go get whatever you need to chill with me. And let's get to this content. So let's go.
There's an old saying that Black people have always known white people better than we even know ourselves. And I'm going to prove to you why this is true in this video. Number one, the reason my words have always triggered white America is because I've done what most white folks are too terrified to do. I simply put the myth down. I walked away from the racial lies and the narcissistic narratives we were fed from birth. I stopped buying into the delusion that our comfort is the only reality that matters. I'm not talking to you from inside the white bubble anymore. I'm just talking from the outside. You see, there are two Americas. One is built on the hard truth, and the other is built on a white fairy tale. Black people have the clarity they have because they never bought into the myth of white supremacy. They knew it was a hustle from day one. But white America made a deal with that myth. We traded our soul and our connection to reality for a sense of superiority that doesn't even exist. And that's the God's truth. That's why white folks have zero credibility when you talk about race. We can't have credibility when you're living a lie, can you? And in 2026, we're seeing the receipts for that truth. Last month, 8 million people, mostly white folks, marched for No King's Day. They were out there screaming about fascism, affordability, and the loss of democracy under Trump's regime, like the house that just caught on fire this morning. But look at who's not in those streets. Black people largely set this one out. Why, you might ask? It's because black people tried to warn white people for years. They pointed at Trump and said, this is where this ends. They sounded the alarm on the racism, the corruption, and the rot. But white people didn't listen. We went ahead and supported this racist regime in massive numbers anyway, because we were too blinded by our own greed and our own fucking arrogance to care about who got crushed as long as we felt superior. Yes, we saw a great white morally bankrupt narcissist that mirrored our white narcissism perfectly. Trump, the white man's racist messiah. See, white supremacy is a moral lobotomy. It has turned white America into toxic, delusional people. White narcissism spiritually stunts the person holding on to it. Fact. I know I was a racist. And we need to be clear. White supremacy isn't just the guys in the hoods or the extremists in the news. It's the everyday culture of white America. It's maintained by the average white person who either perpetrates it, denies it, or enables it through a cold, calculated apathy. It's all that silence that gives it permission to breathe. We thought we were the owners of the machine, but we were just the next ones on the menu. Now that the smoke is finally reaching our front doors, we're acting shocked. But black people aren't shocked. They've been looking at us from the outside for centuries, seeing the truth of our chaos while we were busy getting high on our myths. We spend all day, every day, spewing 1,000 false narratives and lies about race, indoctrinating ourselves with a belief system momentum that keeps us trapped in this myth. No, black people aren't coming to save us this time. They're standing back, watching white people fuck around and find out what happens when you build a world on a fucking lie. That's why, despite the struggle, if you ask a black person if they would ever want to trade places and be white, the answer is almost always a resounding no. They'd rather keep their soul in their clarity than inherit our race's soul-crushing delusion. Because at the end of the day, black people have always known white people better than we have ever dared to know ourselves. They've always understood that white supremacy was never just about power. It was a form of enslavement for the white man, and ultimately, it is our destruction. So what, America? I'm going to leave you with this. James Baldwin told us, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's fucking faced.
And I see no damn lies. I see no damn lies. I appreciate white people like that. Far and in between, though. But there are some good apples and there are some bad apples. The question is, who's the good apple? Who's the bad apple? Are you willing to find out?
Being the token black person in the friend group will cost you your life. For example, Nolan Wells, who went on a boating trip with his friends, the only black guy in the group, on July the 4th in Mississippi, and he came up missing. And we see the same thing that took place in 2018 when you're talking about Tamala Horsford. She went to a gathering with her white friends and she came up deceased. The sheer amount of times that black people will not understand that when you're the token black person in the friend group, you can die and none of your white friends will say a goddamn thing. See, that's the problem. You think everybody fuck with you. Everybody don't like you. This illusion of inclusion bullshit is a westernized ideology that doesn't exist. Because their concept of patriotism is really racism. You just had 400 white nationalists in DC marching on July the 4th. Some of those people are teachers, firefighters, police officers, judges, lawyers, people you work with. So, with all that shit being said, my father said it best. Never be the only one. Never be the only one of your race. Never be the only one that doesn't have any money. Never be the only one that doesn't have a car. Because it's going to create this energy to where you start to seek validation because you're trying to compensate for the lack thereof because you ain't got shit. So you try to live vicariously through white people by getting on their boat. Get your own shit. That's how you save yourself. That's the first rule of nature, self-preservation. Oh, when it comes to so-called black people, I'm not saying that all Europeans are like this. You gotta have some type of social awareness to where you have the mental and spiritual fortitude to see what the fuck is going on around you, right? And rest in peace to Nolan Wells.
I second that. And my question is, why do they always gotta cover their face? You got to be a goddamn coward mother to always cover your face. If you bought that action, if you real about that shit, uncover your face, show who you really are. But they never do. Look through history. They don't like to be. They don't want to show who they are. That's some bullshit. Show me. Straight stand 10 toes in that shit. If you gonna be about that action, stand 10 toes up to that shit and show me who you are. But they're not, because they cowards.
Alright, dogs. No. You put your hands up. Turn around. You're under arrest.
Don't arrest him.
No, you did this nigga. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Get on the ground, you're getting tased. Get on the ground, you're getting tased. Right now. Now. 71 City Smooth. Under arrest for aggravated bad anger police officer. Get on the ground, you're getting tased. Hey, I don't care. Get on the ground, you're getting tased. Now. You're under arrest. You're under arrest. You put your hands on me, you're getting tased. You put your hands on me, you're getting tased too.
Off my property now.
No! Get out of my face.
Get out of my
jail too.
Oh shit.
You're under arrest.
Well. It's like the cops suddenly knew composure that day. These type of videos never cease to amaze me because we already know the outcome of the situation when it's one of their own. And what I mean by one of their own, for y'all who don't know, I mean when a white person does this type of shit to a cop, they usually leave these situations unharmed. And we all know, had that been a black person, a black man, a anybody of a different shade, that cop would never gave 2 shits about that woman being pregnant. She probably would have had 3 of them to the chest just for yelling or running away. But yet, this person is swinging heavily at a cop. Then you see the mother push the cop back. And then the dad hops in the cop's face to tell him to fuck off, get off his property. Once again, no backup call, no gunshots, no mace. I see a taser drawn, but it ain't used. Some people may look at this video as the family being heroic. I, on the other hand, and probably other people of color, see this video as being privileged. Because this type of shit right here, black people don't get to experience that type of grace in America. We can't defend or protect ourselves from these evil fucks. We have to comply unless we end up dead. And that's the sad reality that we have to face in America by being black. And, you know, I like to point out these videos not to strike up a race war or not to shit on a different race. But it's just to show the privilege that a lot of y'all say y'all don't have. It's right up in your fucking face. And guess what? You get to live and tell the story.
Why are you pointing?
Back up! Back up!
Why are you pointing the gun?
Back up!
Why are you pointing the gun at me?
Stay back! You better stand back!
Yo, why you
go back?
Yo,
Lay
you
back!
can't come in my house.
Lay back!
You can't come in here.
Turn over!
You can't. Why you not doing that, yo?
Roll over! Stay back!
What? You can't come in here, yo. You can't come in here. Why are you in my house? Why are you in my house, yo?
Hey!
Why are you in my house, yo? Why are you in my house?
Turn around!
Why are you in my house? What?
Obstruction!
Obstruction of what?
Law enforcement!
Obstruction?
Yep!
What are you talking about?
Yo, what's going on? Yo, what's going on? I got you, babe. Don't worry about it. What the fuck is going on, yo?
Now, they tell black people to comply, right? You just see what happened and when the black guy complied. Sitting there on the porch, listening to everything they said, don't move, sit still. Yet, this trigger-happy motherfucker still shoots his taser at him and taser him. But just comply, shot resistance. Now, the previous video, right here. Can we tell the difference? No taser, no gunshot, no anything. This is exactly what the fuck we mean by if it was a black person. They would have shot, they would have tasered, they would have did that. This is a fucking prime example of that. Not only did they wrongfully taser that brother right there, they wrongfully went in the house without a search warrant to arrest the brother who was standing behind the guy who got tasered, all because he was telling them not to do anything. It was obstruction of law enforcement. Once again, relating back to the white family, who was all obstruction of law enforcement, who was blocking the cop from arresting a pregnant female and tasing her, the whole fucking family. Not one thing happened to them, no handcuffs, no any fucking thing. Yet, a black man inside of his own home gets arrested because he's telling them not to taser the guy on the front porch, which they ignorantly do any fucking way. This is a prime example of how much respect they have for black people. They don't give a fuck about us complying. They don't give a fuck about us following their rules and following their laws. They want to take justice into their own hands and attack us the way that they feel like it. They ain't nothing but some big pussies who hide behind the badges and take advantage to abuse and mistreat black people. And this is a prime example of it.
All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Secondly, obstruct these nuts, dog. And I ain't even got nuts, but obstruct them if I did.
Okay, this is what happened. They all went to the island to party. Then they came back to another party at a pool. Then they killed the black dude at the pool. Then they took his body back to the island. The sheriffs know it, the judges know it, and everybody involved knows it. But now what are they using? They're using Darvo. What is Darva? Darvo, is deny, attack, and reverse the accuser and the victim, right? Now they're claiming, oh, the judge is a victim, right? Oh, we're victims now. We're getting judged. It's all fucking bullshit, man. You know what's going to come out of this Nolan Wells murder story? How corrupt our courts and law enforcement are. That's what's going to come out. Because no matter what the Illuminati does going forward, it will all be exposed. The awakening is happening, right? It is the apocalypse, which means your eyes open. It's not Armageddon. So you watch what happens with this Nolan Wells story. First of all, this is a satanic ritual to try and start a race war. That's it. And now all the lies are coming out. Oh, we just found his body washed up on the beach. No, his body was beat to shit, man. Right? So what are we really learning here, people? Yeah, did they kill a black man? Yes. Why? To start a race war. Why? Because they're fucking corrupt, and that's what the Illuminati does, man. Just like when I called, because this whole property right here, right, was filled with fiberglass and my well was filled with arsenic. So what did they do? The police sent a fucking SWAT team to my house and tried to shoot me, then threw me in jail, and then poisoned me in jail, right? And then when none of that worked, then they fucking tortured my little kid. Because that's how law enforcement works, people. That's how the courts work. This is a Masonic world we live in. And our courts are corrupt, and our judges are corrupt, and our therapists are corrupt, and our schools are corrupt, and our money's corrupt, and it's all corrupt. And you know what? And you don't give a fuck. Why? Because most of you are part of it. But let me just tell you this, because this message really is for the occult. No matter what you do going forward, you will be exposed. And what's going to come out of this Nolan Wells story? The cops are corrupt, the sheriff is corrupt, the judge is corrupt, right? That's what's going to come out of it, because there's nothing the occult can do to stop the apocalypse.
Y'all are not going to believe this. Chief Medical Examiner Stacy Turner is the same medical examiner from the Trey Reed's case. She's the one who deemed Trey Reed's death a self-unaliving after he was in some problems with 4 white boys. So it's the same thing that happened, y'all. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all get the likes up. You are not going to want to miss this one right here. And make sure you hype this video.
Okay, what is your name and your job title?
I'm Stacy Turner, and I'm the Chief Medical Examiner of the state of Mississippi.
How long have you been at DPS?
It will be 5 years as January 1st.
What do you love most about your job?
I really love the people I work with.
She loved the people that she worked with so much that she's willing to lie on these young black men and deem their unalivings self-unalivings and totally ignore that they were around white boys. Check it out, y'all. It gets deeper. It says State Medical Examiner Dr. Stacy Turner ruled Trey Reed's death a self-unaliving. Trey was found from a tree at Delta State University, Mississippi, y'all. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Stacy Turner has been accused of falsifying autopsies of black men before. Yes, she's been lying. This is why Benjamin Crump is going to transport Nolan's body to Washington, D.C. I believe he should get there tomorrow, y'all. Make sure y'all get the likes up. Put this video in the algorithm so our people do not lose the fight. We have to be optimistic about this whole situation because this stuff is happening for a reason. Everybody in Mississippi about to be exposed, y'all. In July 2021, she ruled Damian Cameron's death undermined despite arriving swollen, bloody, and bruised. So everybody that's unalive that's black, she ignored all the signs. And why did they have to identify Nolan's body through his dental records? Why is that? There's something that they're hiding. 2 deputies had knelt on Damian's back for 20 minutes before his... Come on, bro. Make sure y'all get the likes up.
Yo, I mean, how many more situations do we have to see where we can? I really, you know, what I can't stand. I can't stand when people sit there and be like, "Oh, it's not right. It's not da 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 da." But then you clearly see it on the other fence when the shoe was on the other. If that had been 3 black boys with 1 white boy, and he ain't come back with him. What the hell you think would have goddamn happened? Don't worry, I'll wait.
I send my condolences and may that man rest in peace. But black people, this was on us. This one is on us. We have to stop acting like we're shocked when white people do white things. We do. We do. We've seen from several other situations, this was a possibility. See, because it's not no Martin Luther King type shit. We gotta stop making people of color think that because you're achieving certain accolades and hitting certain goals and things that you're able to migrate within their circle and create a safe space. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You are a token. And that's the problem with black people. We don't be knowing our history. And we have overactive senses of self. Like, we be thinking like, bitch, not me. Ain't no group of white people gonna kill me. But if you know your history, and I'm not talking about slavery and segregation and racism, bitch, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about those some years back, just a couple. You don't even gotta go to the pandemic. Baby, we have several cases to where this boy's family should have told him absolutely not. It reminded me of this situation. I don't know how many of y'all need to see that white people sometimes just don't be giving a fuck. Because what happened to Tamala? It's too many of you bitches on this couch to not know nothing. And that be the story every time. People always say, like, I'm not really sure what happened. But when a black person don't know, they just be like, put their ass in jail. Put their ass in jail so that if I got questions, I can know where to find them. They get to go back to life with some type of, like, normality. You know? And in today's society, Epstein files make America great again and the decline of laws that was actually meant to protect us, we can't afford to be doing shit like this. We gotta make it make sense because right now it's costing us dollars. And it's not sad to say that you gotta group all white people with this bullshit because you gotta vet a bitch. But us as black people need to make sure that we all understand that it doesn't matter if you live in a good neighborhood. It doesn't matter if you went to a good school. It doesn't matter if you're experiencing things that previous generations in your family couldn't even fathom. These white people don't give a fuck. You are still a nigger. And that's what we need to tighten up on. Like, bitch, what? Why would you ever end up on this fucking trip with all these white people? It wasn't a black speck in the video but him. Bitch, my mama don't even let me go on trips with all my nigga friends. Fuck you talking about?
You know, and I don't normally agree with Jay-Z because Jay-Z be on some other shit, but in his song, dark, light, rich, po, you still a and that's what you guys fail to realize. And I'm saying to the ones that the question is, if there was a race war, right? If there was, you with your people, they with their people, how many of them gonna stand on the side of you? There are some that will, but I heard this analogy. If there's 1,000 snakes outside that's poisonous and you know only 10 of them is not poisonous, you gonna open your door? And that was my shoe. Are you gonna open your door? 1,000 snakes, but only 10 of them, 20 of them aren't poisonous. Are you gonna open your door? No.
Everything that's been happening is due to racism. I'm tired of you dumb motherfuckers pretending that it wasn't. The redistricting is due to racism because black people vote Democrat in the South. Why do black people vote Democrat in the South? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Democrats gave them the vote, and then all of the white people became Republicans. Because white people in the South do not want to be in community with black people. So they went and switched to another fucking party. The destruction of education in this country is because white people in the South did not want their kids going to schools with black kids. So they have been trying to destroy the Department of Education so they can steal tax money and make white-only schools. Abortion. They don't want black women to have access to reproductive care so they can economically hold them the fuck down. Also, it was a backdoor way to trick Catholics and other people that aren't Southern fucking Baptists and evangelicals into coming into community with white Southerners over a wedge issue so they can take over the Supreme Court so the Supreme Court can say that racism is over and instantly we bring back all the racist fucking policies. It's been this way the entire fucking time. If you can't see that, you are fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
Trigger warning.
Look at this. They're all just watching. And we're supposed to live in a world that's equal and there's no hate, right? They're just watching him. They're laughing at him. Everybody. We're outnumbered in a world that clearly hates us, but they act like they don't. And it's the majority. That's the problem. It's the majority. All right? Only one. You see that? Only one. Only one person. The rest of them, it was a joke to them. It was hilarious. He was a monkey. This is what they think of black people. And you cannot argue and say that they don't. This was proof.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I know people be having interracial relationships and stuff, but let me be honest with you. You know, and I may ruffle some feathers because I know some people in interracial relationships, but let me say this. Next time you effing on them, just remember your people was home for fucking on them. I hope I don't get it. Oh, if I did, I don't. At this point, just remember they were hanging from the tree for fucking on them. That you sitting there when you lay down next to them, look at him and say, "Will this motherfucker stand up for me when the shit hit the fan?" Hell no. Because either the men want the women because they got a fetish for them, but they don't like the men, or the women want our men and they don't like the women. And I can honestly say I know that shit for a fact. But when you lay next to them and when you fucking on them, remember your people was hanging for that same shit. Strange fruit, blood on the leaves. But you getting your nut in while your fucking people was hanging for that same shit. Fuck out of here.
Y'all, this is Dion Walton. I'm just finding out about this. The same day that Nolan Wells lost his life, right in Alabama, was the exact same day that Dion Walton lost his life. Dion Walton ended up drowning, and he was hanging out with guess who? Some white friends. None of his white friends tried to rescue him. None of them tried to go back to see if, he was okay. Come to find out, he went under the water and drowned. And they let him. They did not go and rescue him. They left without even trying to contact anyone, trying to see where he was. He went out to have fun with his white friends. Ended up losing his life by drowning. There was no type of assistance or anything from his friends that he was with. I'm really sick and tired of things like this being done to our people. There needs to be a thorough investigation for Dion Walton as well. Praying for his family. This needs to be investigated ASAP.
And when I say what I'm about to say, please, I don't give a fuck if you take offense to it. I don't know how y'all could lay next to him and be not looking at him upside their goddamn head. Because when they with their people, are they standing up for you? Hell no. Once again, we just saw a video, a bunch of them standing there laughing, and only one took the sign off his goddamn back.
He was in Mississippi, and did you hear about Rasheem Carter? He was in Mississippi, and he was being chased by 3 truckloads of white men yelling racial slurs at him. And while he was being chased, he ran to the police station. So when he got to the police station, he told them he was being chased. He told them that they were saying all these type of racial slurs, and he just needed to ride back home because he wanted to get home safely. They told him this isn't a taxi service. Then he told them where he was headed, and they said, "Oh no, that's out of my jurisdiction." So after they told him that, he left left the police station. Later on that day, he was found on surveillance camera at the Family Dollar. He looked all types of scared, looking over his back. He just looked like he was really shaken, as you would be, being chased by 3 truckloads of people yelling racial slurs at you. And then after he was seen at the Family Dollar, he was seen on another surveillance video running into the woods. But this time his shirt was off and he was running with a stick. That was the last time anybody has seen that man alive. His body was found 1 month later in those same woods, scattered in 4 different places. And when they found his head, his private parts was in his mouth. And you know what police said? The police said that animals did it to him and there was no foul play. And we still don't have any answers of what really happened to Rasheem Carter. Did you hear about Rasheem Carter? He was in Mississippi.
How the hell can animals stick your private parts in your goddamn mouth? Man, come on. That's how much shit that they feeding people. Like, woosah.
This new generation is so soft, says the same people who were crying 50 years ago over having to share a water fountain with a black person.
I mean,
This video has had me emotional all morning because I've never seen people with white privilege use their privilege in this kind of way. Notice that everywhere he moves, they move. This little Asian woman is about to hop up here in these heels, and a white man with the leather coat put his arm around to make sure they didn't touch him. But look, they're never trying to touch the non-black person. Ever. This man in the back done grabbed his baton for what? The only people being violent are the police. So if you ever try to tell me that your whiteness doesn't have any privilege, or your proximity to whiteness is not a privilege, look at this. They're not trying to touch anybody but the black man. This is what it looks like to be an accomplice.
What would you do if another parent, a stranger, attacked your child because their kid is losing?
Back up! She came on the mat and grabbed the kid. Who did? She grabbed our kid. Who did? The young lady. I know. Kid like that. I swear. That's what the ref is for. Don't touch no kid. Hey! Stop. Hey! We got it. It's okay. Yeah, but you're the one that keeps moving forward. Go ahead. I'll talk to you. Okay? Yeah. I guess she didn't mean it, but she came on the mat, which should have been done. I understand it, okay, but we can't have people keep getting aggressive.
Did y'all hear that? He said the black parents are being aggressive because the white woman grabbed their kid. And he doesn't say nothing to the white woman who was actually the aggressor. That's how you know whatever little town this is racist as hell. Just the fact that that woman thought she could put her hands on a 7-year-old black boy proves that.
that's the type of shit I be talking about. First of all, don't ever touch my motherfucking kids. And she handled that really well. I don't know if it would Ariel they would have got, honestly. Because it could have been a fuck around and find out Ariel. It could have been I'm gonna just keep it cool. But you got me. Don't touch my fucking child. Secondly, they always do that. What do you mean? I'll never forget y'all. What get me is when they be aggressive, and then when you show them that side, oh, they want to pump down and be a Karen at that. And Karen is my mom's name. Just shout out to my mommy. But y'all know what I mean, because I had one that tried to come for me, and when I came back at her, when she saw that it shit wasn't sweet, she didn't want meat then. Yeah. Fuck around and find out with me. And I tell you that there's two different sides of me. And certain shit, you gonna get another side of me and you ain't gonna like her. And anything I say, I'm about. You better ask. Better ask around.
Let me tell you about America's 250th. A black teenager never made it home under familiar and suspicious circumstances. A father was murdered in the streets by masked ICE agents, and a white nationalist group marched through our capital waving Confederate flags. One America is mourning. The other America is targeting immigrants and embracing, or at the very least, making excuses for its white nationalism. So very much the same America as it has been for the last 250 fucking years. We watched two families be torn apart this week, while being concurrently told that demonstrations like we saw in Washington, D.C. are peaceful. Nolan Wells should be alive right now, and Lorenzo Araujo should be with his family. And instead, we have people who are making excuses about the Patriot Front, telling these communities that they're overreacting.
Yo, bruh. This fucking video is triggering the shit out of me. If you guys are only... Woo! And then my mom texted me just now about on the news right now. It's let me see what she said. That's what I was responding to. She said that there was a young guy who drowned in Texas. It's on NBC Nightly News. It happened in April, and his friends deleted his phone. Bruh, like what? I just need to talk to these Let's keep going.
The mud shark!
Mud shark alert!
You made a mistake.
Where are you at,
You made a mistake. Mud shark! Mud shark! You created a monkey.
Shut up!
You're the ghetto top like the way you're speaking now. You're speaking Ebonics, you dumb white fake nigger. This isn't Halloween. Stop acting like a fucking nigger. Nigger lover. Shut up, you fucking nigger lover. Go fucking throw away your
That's what the fuck you should do.
You threw away your
Like all
room.
these
You threw away your room.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, you had sex with a nigger, you retard. You fuck monkeys. You have monkeys.
Why don't these ignorant caveman punk motherfuckers never have this energy for a man, a black man? Y'all always bring this energy towards women and kids. This is a very fucking disgusting coward punk bitch behavior. And for that cop to just be sitting right there, letting them call her out her name, calling the baby a nigger baby and a monkey and all this goofy shit. That's just why I have zero to no sympathy for cops. A lot of you coon ignorant fucks on the internet crying about this, when there's a lot of cops out there who's just as racist and ignorant as these white caveman pale-faced fucks. That's just why nobody wants you, ignorant fuck. To a lot of sisters who's dating these motherfuckers, y'all don't deserve no grace either. Because y'all be knowing these motherfuckers be racist. And y'all still go out there and date them, knowing they don't like your fucking people. Knowing they have a fucking fetish. But y'all still, ooh, get you a white man, girl. No, fuck all of that. Cause these be the same motherfuckers talking all this racist bullshit, mother shark, and all this nigger baby bullshit, but then be out there dating black women. I done had enough with this dumb, ignorant, racist bullshit. It's about time these motherfuckers had a reality check. Cause you punk motherfuckers ain't scaring nobody. You're not tough going after women and kids, calling them the N-word, while you have a whole fucking crowd behind you. And you punk ass police officers who sit there and allow this shit to happen, you deserve no fucking grace either. Because y'all allowing these fucking animals to act like this. There's a prime example. Cops just sitting right there letting these motherfuckers act a fool. That would have been a black man harassing some white woman and white kids and all that shit like that. You motherfuckers would have bucked up and got wild, started harassing him, tasing him, and some more shit. But you didn't, because you wanted people to hear that ignorant fucking message. You wanted her to hear that fucking message. You wanted that little black baby to hear that fucking message. They wonder why black people are so at ease with the fucking cops and always defending ourselves, because look how you motherfuckers act and allow these punk motherfuckers to act. Enough is a fucking enough.
And I want to go and pivot to men too, men that date white women. Let me tell you something. She got a fetish for you, but she don't fuck with your sisters though. And I know that as personal.
Number 227.
Stop.
Chase, where are you, Chase? He got his hands on me. We upstairs.
You're about to go to jail. You're gonna go to a youth detention center if you don't stop.
He's not doing anything. He had his rights. He's not even doing anything right now, sir. And I have his father on the phone, and you won't even speak to him.
Yep.
So what you can do when they call me? I'm gonna shoot my hand. I know.
Man, no, but you're not gonna have him like that. You're not gonna have him like that, my nigga. You're not gonna have him like that.
You put your hands on me again.
Man, we're gonna go to the next one, y'all. This video, let me tell you something. Man,
I've been seeing Nolan Wells' face all over social media and in the news, and I think that's great. However, because these gentlemen deleted all their social media accounts before Nolan Wells' body was even found, we haven't really been able to see them in the media. These are the 5 men who are alleged to have been with Nolan on that island. These are their names, these are their faces, and we should know them and see who they are. So Eli, Eric, Warren, Wyatt, Morgan. We should see their faces, we should know their names too. This case has really reminded me, man. I remember I was coming up and I thought my mom was just so prejudiced, about stuff. She would tell me different things and talk to me about dealing with police and, the things that I don't have to worry about. And I would push back against what she would tell me. And all she would say is, just keep living. Just keep living. And as an adult, I understand. I understand what she meant by keep living. How do you leave without your friend? And even if you left without your friend, how do you have his phone? And not only you have his phone, but you didn't turn it over to his parents. You kept it. And if it wasn't for Life 360, they wouldn't have found his phone. It just reminds me, I remember when the Kendrick Johnson thing was happening, they found that boy rolled up in a mat at school. Whether it's Jelani Day, really Tamla Horsford, I think is her name. Back to Emmett Till, it's a repeat offense. It happens way too much. They had to send this boy's body to Washington, D.C. to have an autopsy done. One of the boy's stepmom is a judge. She already released a statement. And what's really alarming is that I'm seeing more and more content that wants to point the finger in other directions. No. Let's figure out what's going on with his friends first. And also, allegedly, they were at lunch and they said, well, y'all already decided that we did it. What do you mean? Your friend is missing. Why aren't you helping his parents search for him? Why aren't you going through his phone and it's deleted text messages? I'm not surprised. It's just so hurtful how disposable we are to them. Nolan Wells deserves so much more. I hope his family gets justice. I hope that the truth is revealed. I hope they can do a forensic search on that phone to figure out what they were deleting in there. And it just makes me sad, man. Prayers to the family.
You know what breaks my soul about what happened to Nolan Wells is that as a white mother, I've been in the rooms with other white parents as they make excuses for the shitty behavior of their children. I have sat at the table with white mothers as they placate and avoid and ignore the shitty behaviors that their sons do. I have been in the rooms with other white families as they make excuses and constantly invalidate the experiences of others, completely unwilling to see a reality that doesn't even exist for them. What breaks my soul about what happened to Nolan Wells is that we don't teach our white children how to stand up for what's right. We don't teach our children accountability, because if it's one thing that we really, really, really can't tolerate within white culture, that's accountability. And that has to change with us white mothers.
I appreciate people that say stuff like that because that's the truth. And when they're in the rooms, they don't stand up for you at all. It's like like there was with the boy with the monkey thing on his back. Once again, how many kiki'd and one person decided to take it off?
Less than 24 hours after Judge Roche announced that he will be stepping down and resigning from being a judge after the Carmelo Anthony case, the footage from what happened on that field has been leaked. You can see in the video where the 6 boys were on their way over to where the tent was. And as you can see, all 6 of those boys went straight up to where Carmelo was sitting inside of that tent, which is exactly what the witnesses stated when they said they saw the original video. Now, why didn't they say that in the court hearing about the 6 boys that walked up to Carmelo Anthony? Now, as you can see here, they've all surrounded Carmelo at this point, which is probably very intimidating to have 6 boys surrounding you. Now, if you just continue to watch right here, you'll start to see that there's some pushing and shoving. It looks like a fight. Looks like there was a punch thrown too, doesn't it? You see Carmelo leave, run out of the tent, and run down to the field. So now that this footage has been leaked, we can see that there were 6 boys, that they did surround Carmelo. They did. And they all came there together to attack that boy.
And once again, if that was 6 black boys came around one white guy and he did that, what would they say? He was acting in self-defense. He felt pressured. He felt closed in. They were coming to attack him. But why was it the same thing on that side? This is what I'm talking about. Justice for him. Because God damn.
I can't even believe that I'm coming to you with another story of a young black child who drowned while in the custody of white people. Jerry, who was described as a neighbor, took Angelique on a recreational boat ride at nighttime. They left from the Menke Marina, which is in Jerusalem, Ohio, along with a 36-year-old man named Jonathan Chia. They took this child out at 10:30 at night. Less than 15 minutes into this boat ride, Angelique went missing. Apparently, her and Jonathan both went into the water somehow. And Jerry, she swam to shore. She called a friend for a ride, and she never called 911 or notified the mother. After Angelique didn't return, her mother called 911. On July 2nd, Jonathan's body was found by a boat that was passing by. On July 5th, they recovered Angelique's body. And both deaths were just ruled an accidental drowning. When Jerry was arrested on July the 3rd, she was charged with a misdemeanor child endangerment. Although it was upgraded to a felony, she was released on a $50,000 bond. And she's pleading not guilty. She made it to shore safely. Never thought to call 911 about this baby.
But we got to stop letting our kids, and we got to stop doing this. We really do. Something has to change. I'm gonna be honest with you. Although, my kid goes to a predominantly black school, it's a predominantly black Catholic school. I would if she did. If they ain't some extra, because I'm trying to see how to word this. I don't know if I'll let her go. Matter of fact, I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't. How about you? I'd be up, and she'll tell you, my mama crazy as hell. I will. She already know. Don't play with me, because let's keep going. I'm gonna let it go. I knew this video was going to be triggering for me. Yeah, let's keep going.
Let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that Nolan Wells is surrounded by so many of so-called friends and so many pictures, and after being found deceased, nobody has posted rest in peace? Instead, they all went private. Even the judge, stepmother of Warren Hudson, deactivated her social media? That's not friendly-like behavior. These folks preparing for something big. Ooh, y'all some fraudulent friends. Y'all quick to want to dance with them until it's time to dance with them. Can you use a my deepest condolences post in the court of law? Judge Ashley Cole disappeared off social media like Nolan's friends' accountability.
Wyatt Pyron was one of the last so-called friends of Nolan to go private on his profile. I guess he got the news late. It's crazy how everyone else came back safe, and even Nolan Wells' cell phone made it back safely.
Nolan Wells is the one that passed away, but y'all are real ghosts. I pray that that young man receives swift justice and that they don't get away with it was an accidental death excuse like they always do. I'm out.
This shit gonna keep happening. Y'all think we fools. I'm pissed. If you don't like no cussing, scroll the fuck up. So you have 28-year-old Gerard Jackson from Illinois who was found hanging after attending the Electric Force Music Festival out in Michigan with his group of white friends. Now allegedly he had rented a van for him and his white friends. He was the only black dude. He even drove them down there and everything to this festival. A word on the street is that he had gotten into an altercation with one of the friends in the group, and the police was called over for that incident. His friends is telling the parents and family that he had a mental health crisis, that he walked away and left off their campsite because of this crisis. Mind you, his body was found in a wooded area at that festival. They really haven't done no investigation. They just believe in his white friend's story. Not only that, they classifying it as a suicide. Not even doing the proper investigation. The fuck? Bitch! Hear me out now, y'all. I'm tired of this shit, y'all. It's the same fucking story. And then people gonna be like, oh, you race baiting. Yes, I am, nigga. I'm just bringing awareness to it. Yes, the fuck, that's what it is. Who the fuck walk around with a fucking rope? Tell me, you tell me a black person is gonna walk around with a rope, go to the woods, and hang himself? You telling me a nigga can't just crash the car, slit his throat? And again, the Nolan situation. You telling me that a black kid just wanna drown himself? Get the fuck on, bro. like, I'm getting so tired of this shit. It's only happened to black kids who goes out with white people. This is not for all white people. I know all white people is not like this. This is for the ones who is like this. Y'all don't even agree with these motherfuckers. R.I.P. Gerard Jackson, prayers to the family.
Bro, let's just keep going.
I need you to sit with this number for a second. Raynard Johnson, Mississippi, 2000. Otis Bird, Mississippi, 2015. Lennon Lacey, North Carolina, 2014. Trey Reed, Mississippi, 2025. Kyle Basinga, Georgia, 2026. Almost every single one of these cases ruled suicide. Some within days. Some before a full investigation ever happened. Families reporting broken bones, bound hands, feet touching the ground, and still, case closed. One civil rights organization found at least 70 suspected modern-day lynchings across 7 southern states since 2000. Just in the Deep South. 20 of them in Mississippi alone. And we all know who's from Mississippi that just was found unalived. Nolan Wells. So I have to ask, if this were happening to any other group of Americans in this concentration, in this pattern, would the FBI still be sitting on the sidelines? We're told this is one of the hardest hate crimes to prove. Black people aren't tying nooses and hanging themselves to trees. Not to mention the broken bones, feet on the ground. How's this happening? This isn't about assuming every ruling is wrong. It's about asking why the pattern itself isn't the investigation. It's about asking why these families have to hire their own forensic pathologists just to get a second opinion on their own child's death, as in the Nolan Wells case. They're hiring someone to do the autopsy outside of Mississippi. Black people in America have never been protected at the same standard as everyone else. This is just the latest proof. Say their names. Gerard Jackson, Tonae Miller, Juliana Nzita, Kai James, Denoris Richardson, Roy Veal, Clarence Otis Cole, Nick Naylor, Gregory Johnson, Frederick Jermaine Carter, Marco McMillan, Ben Keita, Philip Carroll, Sandra Bland, Willie Andrew Jones Jr., T.T. Gully, Malcolm Harsh, Dominic Alexander, Robert Fuller, Emmanuel Kildea, Omari Bryant, Leon Hayes, Trayvonte Schubert Helton, Javion McGee, or Javi, Denoris Richardson, Earl Smith, Tori Medley. Share this, push for the DOJ to review these cases as a pattern, not one by one. Support organizations already doing this work, because right now they're doing the job the federal government won't.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm literally fighting back tears right now because it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. And it's like, I can't stand the people that say that this shit don't exist. Let's just keep going.
I want to talk a little bit about this Nolan Wells situation. You know, the 18-year-old kid, football player, who went out on some boat ride with his friends in Mississippi, Horns Island or something, and he ends up missing, but the white dudes are there. The three bozos don't know where he is, right? And what's really funny is they ended up erasing their ING really quickly. And also, I guess their parents are like judges, and they're in power positions in this area. And this is Mississippi. Go figure. And what's really fucked up is this reminds me of the Carmelo Anthony situation where the father, right, the bullies that were attacking Carmelo, the father's hooked up with the judge that presided over them. You know, there's this thing of these missing black people, and these white motherfuckers always have somebody in the court system. It's very weird. You know, it doesn't seem that strange nowadays. You know, random black kids hanging. There's another kid that just was at a festival, some festival, and he was found hanging. Yo, listen, man, what's really messed up is there's footage of this kid having an argument with the white dudes. They're having an argument with them. Like, hey, you can't get back on the boat. There's an argument. It's a real quick video.
I'm gonna die. You gotta learn how to swim. So you can swim down wherever you fucking retard. We know, we can tell. I'm looking at you. I'll just wait. Bro, you have a life jacket. No, I'm black. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna say. Oh, yes, it does. Bro, I'll just find a way. Bro, you have a life jacket. I'm gonna die. I'm never coming back with y'all.
It's f***ed up. Listen, I believe that they did it. I believe they did it. They did it. Plain and simple, they did it. You know, what a black kid, he just went and committed suicide. They always say black kid, oh, he committed suicide. First of all, black people don't do that like that. They don't do that. I'm not saying they don't commit suicide, but they don't do shit like that. They don't hang themselves up by trees. You need a group of people to do that. You understand? So I hope that this gets investigated, because this is some bullshit. It's pathetic. It also reminds me of the Tamala Horsford in 2018. She went on a slumber party or whatever, some slumber party with all white friends, and she ended up dead. And this has happened a few times, ending up dead. Listen, I'm not saying that hanging out with white people means you're going to end up dead, but check this out. All you black people that are so frantic to hang out with these white motherfuckers, do me this favor. Let's detox from hanging out with white people by ourselves. Let's detox with that. From now on, bring a group of motherfuckers. Because in case some shit goes down, you know, motherfuckers get the beat down. So if you guys can not be so frantic to go out with your white friends, make sure you have backup, all right? Make sure it's even. If there's 3 white dudes, there's 3 black dudes, okay? All right? Let's do that. Can we do that? Let's detox from that. You know, I don't even go out with my white friends anymore. I really don't, right? When they say, hey man, let's go camping, I go, we can Zoom. I'll Zoom, and then you guys can say hi from there. F that. I'm Zooming with all my white friends. I don't go on no adventure with them, ever. I have to detox from that until we get this straight. I'm just letting you know that. Let's detox, huh?
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Daniel Irving was an honor roll student. He was a member of his swim team. He was a strong, healthy, young athlete. For these 2 suspects to say he drowned and they left, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Something smells off to us. If it's an accident, why hide the clothes? Why flee the scene? Why toss Daniel Irving's cell phone out the car? Better yet, why do you have Daniel Irving's cell phone? Why go home and delete every text message, every communication? If you have nothing to hide and it's an accident, why delete the evidence? Why delete the text? Those are the answers we demand.
They use the same playbook. The same fucking playbook. We as black people got to fucking do better in being around them. I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna leave it for my closing. I'm gonna tell you a story about my life. So everybody, we've reached the end of this video, and I am sorry I don't have as much energy as I normally would have in my closing, but I'm gonna be honest, this video has really took me through there. I'll never forget being in boarding school for troubled teens. Yeah, y'all. If you haven't seen that video, I may link it to this video. I don't know. I may put it in, I don't know. But I did a video on the troubled teen industry, and I'll never forget when one of the chaperones had on a Confederate flag shirt, and I had told them, I said, well, where I'm from, you know, my heritage, that shirt means racism, division. Like, it really bothers me that you're wearing that shirt. I was a level 4. I worked my way up from 1, 2, and 3 to level 4. And if anybody knew about the WASP program, WWASP, I think it is, I'm going to put it right here. The WASP program, it is definitely levels, and you don't move up those levels easy. And I worked my ass off to get up to level 4, and they dropped me from level 4 to level 3 for speaking my mind. And if you see it, you see my video, you see how I am. I've always been a person that was gonna speak her goddamn mind. My hair keep falling. So my mom called up there, went off. Do you know that today, on July the 14th, 2026, my mom just realized they never put me back up to level 4. When I was talking to her about doing this video, I was telling her, I was like, you know, when I was at Darrington Academy, they dropped me from level 4 to level 3. They did not give me level 4 back. They gave me level 3 challenge, which is basically level 3.5. They told my mom that they gave me back my level 4. I left. I was there for a year. I left on level 3 challenge. They never gave me back my level. I was in Blue Ridge, Georgia. A bunch of white hick people that didn't really care for black folks. I could count on my hand the number of people that were black. I also remember going to a school called Texas Christian High School when I went back to Houston after I left Darrington. And there was a couple of us too. And you will not imagine the way they made sure we knew we weren't them. The little slick ass racist jokes. You know, some of the, and a couple of black guys that was there, which wasn't that many. It was like, two was only there from basketball because they wanted their basketball team to do something. And one was only there because their brother was in the NBA or NFL, one of the two, and he redid the gym. Needless to say, I was only in there for a year because they ended up putting me out because of my mouth. As you could tell, that's why I do what I do. I've been like this, and I will continue to be like this. I am so disgusted. And parents that put their kids and be like, they be so excited. Oh yeah, my kid is the only black kid in the class. Da da da. You are a disgrace. You have your child as a token fucking black child growing up with identity fucking issues. Let me tell you something. At what point is it going to stop? I don't know. But I know that we got to do something. I made this video and I scrapped my other video because I had to say something. It would not be Ariel if I did not. But we have to figure out something as a black community that we can start reversing this shit. I ain't trying to rage a race war, but something's gotta fucking give. Cause I'd be damn if it's my fucking kids or the ones that I love. We got to do something different. We really do. I'm about to close this out. This is a lot. This is a lot for me. But I thank the Most High that I was able to get through it. Because I'm going to be honest with you, several times throughout this video, I was ready to fucking stop this shit. And I ain't even worrying about this bitch getting demonetized for my bad language. This is basically strictly for awareness. I just want to put this out for awareness. To show you, look at all of this shit. And this is shit that's going on now. This ain't no fucking back then before the civil rights and all this boycotting and all. No, this shit going on right now. The shit ain't never died. The shit's still alive. I'm going to end this video right here. I love you guys very much. If you were offended, I don't give a fuck. Sorry. If you want to unsubscribe, hit that bitch. I don't care. But I'ma always speak out. I'ma always go toe to toe with it. And if you know me, and you really know me, you know I don't give a flying fuck about going down through there with somebody. So, you know, I had some people in the comments one time. I heard one man said, my girlfriend is black. I don't give a fuck. You sound like a person that said, I got black friends. I don't give a shit. And what the hell you do when you around your people? Are you standing up for the black people? Fuck no, probably not. Once again, we saw the monkey sign. How many people laughed and one person took it off his back? But this video has ended, you guys. I'm just gonna end this shit right here. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. And until I see you guys again, bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.